Jamar Chase was back. It was going good. T. Higgins, obviously, on a 1-year deal. He understands the situation. Jamar Chase, 2 years left on his deal, but I would like to get paid. Everybody understands what my worth is to this particular program. He's coming back to practice. Zach Taylor saying, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch the Jamar Chase show. I'm excited to watch the Jamar Chase show. Then 13 minutes into practice, Jamar Chase shows up wearing a T-shirt and shorts. I saw people saying it was street clothes. I think that's a Bengals shirt.
Yeah.
I think he's wearing a Bengals shirt. So that means he went into his locker. He was there in the building. So he's wearing team apparel gear, just not practicing. What is the situation here? How do we feel about it? And I know you alluded to it earlier. Do we know anything with what's going on with Jamar Chase?
Well, I think Zach Taylor, the Bengals head coach, yesterday said that he spoke too soon. And I think what happened was when he came out the day before and said that Jamar's back practicing and he absolutely expects him to play week 1, I don't know that the Jamar Chase camp particularly liked those comments where the Bengals are dictating the narrative when things are not done and a contract is still being discussed and Jamar Chase still hasn't been paid. And I think this was Jamar Chase's way of saying, you're not the only one in charge here. I have a say as well. And I'm not going to practice and just step out there the way that you think I am. Now, again, the question is he willing to do that on opening day against the New England Patriots? Is he willing to do that in week 2? Most people around the league believe that he's not. Now, again, I say here's a guy who sat out a full season of college football when there was business at hand. Yeah. I don't know what he's going to do.
And Jamar Chase, so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jamar Chase hasn't spoken publicly, so we don't know exactly what he's thinking. What we do know is that there is an issue. What we do know is that contract talks have been moving in slow motion. What we do know is he's not practicing as of yesterday. What we do know is Zach Taylor said he doesn't know what's going to happen. It's day to day right now. So there's a lot of uncertainty here, and there's still some time to have this play out. Like, you have to figure that Joe Burrow is banging his drum like to get this deal done. They did Joe Burrow's deal after 3 years. Jamar Chase wants his deal done with 3 years. If you're the Bengals, you're saying, well, you've got 2 years left, and we could tag you, and we could tag you again. So we could make the argument that we contractually control your rights for 4 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
But Jamar Chase could say, well, I'm not playing this year for $1 million in base salary, a base salary of $1 million. Like, I just think, I've thought this all along. I think this is a complicated situation. And if it weren't, it would have been solved by now. So I think it's been proven to be a little bit of a sticky situation.
Quagmire.
No matter how much some people want to deny that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a conundrum, a little bit of a quagmire, but let's go. Pac-Man Jones obviously lives in Cincinnati, Bengals legend. And what is Cincinnati talking about? What are the thoughts around Cincinnati?
Well, Pat, what we do know is Mr. Brown have never paid a wide receiver with 2 more years left on the deal. What we do know is that we haven't seen no quarterback like Joe Burrows, and God knows when, so that deal had to get done. Do I think the deal will get done during the season? No, I don't. I don't think Mr. Brown do deals during the season, and I don't think he's going to play him with 2 years. Maybe he adds something to the deal, and that's probably why the
incentive-based, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing
No, not even incentive-based. Probably add, $10 million or whatever the number is to it. But as far as doing a whole new deal, Mr. Brown is not going to do that with 2 years.
What we do know is that Pac-Man's a quick learner there. That's what we know.
Yeah, we do.
Pac-Man's a quick learner. I love that.
I think we all know that about Mr. Brown, that have been around the NFL. And the fact that, his daughter, I believe, and son-in-law and everything, they have certainly built up the business of the Bengals. They sold the naming rights to the stadium for the first time ever. That's like hundreds of millions of dollars just sitting there available. And they knew it because Joey Burrow is coming to town. Ohio guy has the ability. It feels like a new era of Bengals football, but now are we going to get trapped in a situation where one of the stars wants a little bit more money? There has to be a deal to be made. By
the way, again, Jalen Waddle, 2 years left on his deal. That deal gets done after 3 years.
Thanks a lot.
Joe Burrow, they did his deal for 3 years after 3 years. So, again, Jamar Chase wants to be paid. Let's be very clear about that. And we're going to see how these two sides handle it and how far he's willing to push it, which we don't know right now.
There has to be somewhere. But if you miss the game and he's fined, it's like $250,000. Yeah. Not even, right? Like, what is the fine if you miss the game? Nothing.
And what I say is, so what? Like, I think, I don't know. I think if you missed a game, I was on the phone last night with a GM. We were talking about this. and it's more complicated. We're going to look into it today, but if he misses a game check, who cares?
It's nothing.
Who cares?
Was it $4 million? He's getting $1 million. You said in base salary. I thought
$1 million in base. So what's $1 million divided by 18? Divided by 18.
Is that like
okay? There's
70 grand, 60 grand.
That is his weekly game check. 70 grand.
Peanuts.
That's the number.
He was making that at school.
Yeah, bingo.
A week, 70 grand a week down there.
But then does the contract toll? Okay, well, again, if Jamar Chase doesn't care about that, and then they just keep the contract in place because he didn't play the opener or beyond. But if you're Jamar Chase, like, you've made that decision. If you're not playing the opener, he's not playing the opener and then coming back week 2 to play against the Chiefs without a, like, that's why we have to know what he's thinking, and we don't. We don't know how far he's willing to push this right now. My guess is he's going to play. That would be my guess. But do I know that? I don't know that.
Okay. Well, I hope they get it figured out.
In Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, once again, is at practice, but not practicing. He walked in, he showed up in his Bengals shorts and long sleeve tee, but he was not in pads. He's not practicing again today. So those situations continue on with no resolution in sight.
Walking across the street downtown Cincinnati to get to the practice facility that the Cincinnati Bengals have that is not under a bridge, which I have, falsely.
Sure.
Certainly a 7-iron away, like a 9-iron, maybe a pitching wedge away. Pac-Man. Obviously, the Cincinnati Bengals with Joey Burrow back. First time ever getting to have a training camp. We assume that the Bengals are going to start better than they have in the past. Notoriously slow starting team, but is that because Joe Burrow hasn't been in training camp any of the years? Probably.
Yeah.
So with Joey B there, seemingly locked in, is Jamar Chase going to hold him back, or are we not worried about the Bengals right now?
We're not worried about the Bengals. Jamar Chase is not going to hold him back. He'll be ready week 1. Hopefully we'll get something figured out. But, Joe is the key to all this. T. Higgins probably had the best camp he done had. Got a lot of young guys that's been opening up eyes around.
Oh, really? So we're at the point where we're like, okay, we got young guys that are going to hopefully make some plays for us.
Okay.
That's
I'm saying no. We can't say that. Now one of them are Chase. I'm not saying that.
Got it.
But what I'm saying is, it's a lot of guys like Jermaine Burke who's been showing up in camp that's playing pretty good football that can go out and play if this was to happen. That's all I'm saying.
No Joe Mixon, right?
No
Joe Mixon, which is going to be a different game. Yeah, he's
They got Zach Moss.
Zach Moss, who obviously can tote the rock. We saw that here in Indianapolis.
He is real fast and real quick in little space.
He was our third stringer. Yeah. And then every time he came on the field, I think
he was top 5 in rushing.
Yeah.
During the Taylor holdout, was that last year or 2 years?
Yeah, last year.
Before he got hurt.
Zach Moss is phenomenal. Now, is he the same guy, hopefully, for the Cincinnati Bengals? Lou Anarumo still running that defense,
yes, sir.
Right? Which is a big deal.
Yeah, big deal. He did really good with getting the 2 safeties back, got Von Miller back, got Geno Stone back, which was one of our undercover dogs. But yeah, we're gonna miss the D tackle that we lost to the Lions.
DJ Reader.
We're gonna miss Readers, but
big pickup.
I mean, they got New England week 1, so it's a favorable matchup at home. But I mean, is that really where you want to be? Especially, all the conversation around Christian Gonzalez being all-pro corner.
I don't think we were about nothing about the Patriots.
And that's
Okay,
exactly.
speaking of,
That's my point.